Now, y'all know I have not been watching mainstream news media, so I had no idea that this occurred. Shout out to one of my peeps who dropped this little bit of tea down in the comment section underneath the video on a different platform, who said that Morning Joe had been yanked off the air. And so I went dancing on over to Google, and lo and behold, it is being reported by several different news media sites that Morning Joe was yanked off the air. Not only is Fox News talking about it on their website, they did dedicate some time to this news story on their morning news show.
Best thing to do is to say nothing at all. And apparently this is happening over at MSNBC. This is a headline here. Morning Joe pulled from air Monday because of Trump shooting. And a person familiar with the matter told CNN that the decision was made to avoid a scenario in which one of the show's stable of 24 plus guests might make an inappropriate comment on live television that could be used to assail the program and network as a whole.
I think they should worry about the host of that program, too. I will never forget watching in real time a few months ago, Joe Scarborough come out and say that Donald Trump would execute people. Like, this was said, and it was so stunning. I wrote down the time. I put it in my notes. I sent it to our team. He's never said that. He's never done that. I don't blame Joe Scarborough, any host, any president, any political figure for what happened. I solely blame the shooter. But the rhetoric on both sides should come down. And I think what you are seeing from Team Trump is a hard pivot from fighter to healer. Political Playbook said today there was this call that took place after the shooting with Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles, and they're very strategic, and they've called guests who are going to speak and said, don't bring up the shooting. They've strategically picked which guests are going to bring it up. I'm sure you'll hear about it from the president, but I think you are going to see former President Trump on Thursday night give one of the most unifying, beautiful speeches. And I think it's going to bring the country together. And I know he says maybe it's not possible. I think it is when you have a leader who takes that mantle and runs with it. And every indication from Nikki Haley coming and Ron DeSantis coming and the tweets that were sent out, he personally crafted the Truth Social about unity. Every indication points at a president who is going to go from fighter to...
Baby, the delusion over in Trump world is something else. Unify the country? Now, there may be a possibility that he can unify the party. That may be a possibility. But unifying the country? No, I'm not trying to unify with people that are trying to regulate me to a second-class citizen. I'm not trying to unify with people that are trying to take rights away from me. I'm not trying to unify with people that call me a see you next Tuesday because I don't agree with Donald Trump. I'm not trying to unify with people that call me the N-word. I'm not trying to unify with people who look down upon me because I'm a black woman. Yeah, I'm not trying to unify with MAGA nuts, period. And the unifying tweet that she's talking about, here's the tweet. Allow me to read it aloud for you. As we move forward in uniting our nation after the horrific events on Saturday, this dismissal of the lawless indictment in Florida should be just the first step, followed quickly by the dismissal of all the witch hunts, the January 6th hoax in Washington, D.C., the Manhattan DA's zombie case, the New York AG scam, fake claims about a woman I never met, a decades-old photo in a line with her then-husband does not count, and the Georgia perfect phone call charges. The Democrat Justice Department coordinated all of these political attacks, which he goes on to say is election interference. In what reality is that unifying? What reality? Oh, it's that Trump derangement syndrome again. They view that as a unifying message for the entire country. Newsflash, it is not. Anywho, now they are reporting that Morning Joe was yanked off the air as if Morning Joe is gone bye-bye forever. That is not the case. When you scroll past the headline and actually read the article, they only pulled Morning Joe off the air today. Viewers who tuned in expecting to see the staunchly anti-Trump program hosted by Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski were greeted instead by continued NBC News special reporting on the attempt on Trump's life on Saturday. A spokesperson said Morning Joe will resume airing on Tuesday. That would be tomorrow. You notice how that article reads that Joe Scarborough is anti-Trump. I won't say that he's all the way anti-Trump. He's more of a never Trumper at this point. There's too much bad blood that has occurred between the two of them. The things that Donald Trump has done personally to Joe Scarborough. Remember, Donald Trump attacked his wife, and Joe Scarborough is a rich, privileged white man. And they know they aren't going to be able to control Joe Scarborough's mouth. And the CEO, the Trump supporting CEO, the Trump donating CEO wants more MAGA nuts watching their program. Remember, I told you guys last week that their viewership has dramatically dropped. And so the CEO wants to protect whatever viewership they have left. And they know that Joe Scarborough will pop off at the mouth. Joe Scarborough will say what he is thinking. And 9 times out of 10, Joe Scarborough probably thinks that it's all a setup. But for those of you who are watching mainstream media, those of you who are still tuned in to Morning Joe, he'll be back on the air tomorrow.